Okay, let's hop right into the game. We do have in the top left Solar, and in the bottom right we do have Ryung. I want to say both players are currently playing for Team Vitality, so those are actually teammates. Oh my god, okay, we did just see an amazing game between Ryung and Epic, and I guess everybody, it was a display on Ryung's skill in the matchup TVT and why he's considered still one of the very best TVT players out there, even till this day, where his results really have been kind of diminished. And he's going into a CC first here in this matchup. Okay, so this is going to be a different beast. It's going to be TVZ. It's one of those matches or matchups Ryung has been historically kind of struggling with. Yeah, but he is also one of those players who is not afraid to go off-brand. He's going to go into MECH, he's going to go into Sky Terran in this matchup. And we have seen a lot of strategize elements here coming out from Ryung, specifically to try to find his way through this. But he can also play standard, and it's not bad, of course. But it is not comparable to Maru, it is not comparable to Clem. It is not the top end of tier where his TVT does lie, actually. Talking a little bit about how Dark is one of those randomization players and maybe one of the most decisive players, one of those players who are like one of a kind, who they are execution based. It's all about perfect decisions and perfect micro, perfect execution. Maybe not perfect micro, but perfect execution really. And sometimes finding just the perfect moment in the game. Like in a weird way, Dark is one of the best players at reading the game itself, while being unreadable to the opponent, if that makes sense. It's a little bit, I agree, you said Hero there. And it's a little bit with him as well, where Hero for the race Protoss definitely is one of those guys who is hard to read for the opponent, because sometimes he can take a fight that should not favor his odds, but he still manages to win it with his execution and micro. And he does that a lot, and that's where he kind of finds moments to gain a different advantage during that fight. Like, he fights from behind and wins something he should not win, and his opponent just in the end overcommit. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of about this. This SCV pops at the wrong direction here. It's gonna maybe get the kill here. Solar that is. So these 4 random links are making good damage here for Solar. It's gonna kill 2 SCVs, maybe even a third one. There's only 1 Marine behind the wall and is not gonna find the damage here. Now the Marine commits outside the wall, coward. While the Zerglings do run away. But yeah, he loses 3 SCVs. So good opening here from Solar is gonna kind of diminish this investment from the CC first, getting 3 SCVs. That's definitely worth it. Already a third SCV, CC on the way. Yeah, so far so good by Solar, and again we see Ryung is a little bit struggling in the matchup. He did not have a Reaper, he only had 1 Marine. He did not have anything to scout, he has no depot, anything at this low ground. Imagine, this is a CC first, right? Of course it is a little bit risky, but imagine you take the first depot on the low ground and set up your wall here. Perfectly safe. Those links come, knock, and don't do anything. The issue is, if this is a poo first, then those links come, knock, and knock everything down. That's where the high ground wall is a little bit better. Also, it does expose your add-ons a little bit there on the outside, because you need to use that low ground. Now he's not going to show the Cyclone. This is very interesting. This is such a Ryung thing as well. So he only shows, hey, I have 4 Marines, I'm going to drop them. But Solar does not know what is inside. It could be 2 mines, it could be a Cyclone, it could be 2 Hellions. He does not know. Now he needs to guess. Love this one. across the map now. Of course, now the cyclone has been revealed. A few Hellions trying to run into the third base are going to catch some of those drones. Lynx are going to be able to defend this though. 7 drones, 10 drones. Oh my god, this is already enough damage. And we do have the main drop. Wait. It did get killed. He lost the medevac with basically everything inside. But one Marine. He just flew into the Spore and the Queen. Oh my, Ryung. He was microing too heavy on the front line here. He still did kill a lot of those drones. And he is going to be able to defend this link counterattack just because Solar did make a mistake to come in single file. This was basically the biggest mistake here from this counterattack. Solar coming in single file there with those Zerglings, and the Hellions were enough to splash those down. Banshee coming now across the map, but yeah, there was a huge advantage there for Ryung, and now he kind of, with losing the medevac basically for free and every unit inside, that was not supposed to happen. And even though he killed 10 drones, it's a little bit of a rough spot. It's not the best spot. So it's kind of even now. If you remember the 3 drones from the beginning, killing 10 drones at this stage, it kind of evens out those 3 SCVs. Which is weird to say because, hey, those numbers are so different. Why is the one is double digits, the other one's only 3, right? But they were so early, and he was investing into the CC first. He was basically gambling kind of on making his economy the greatest thing America has ever seen, and it did not work out because Solar was just, well, he was taxing basically the economy there from Ryung, and the taxman did demand 3 SCVs, and there was like, I want to say 5 to 10% taxes there on the economy of Ryung. And now Solar has been growing on the map. He has been pushing out his creep kind of uncontested. Those Hellions did go into the third, remember, they did sacrifice themselves for drones, which can be a good play, but it also does mean you're giving up your map control. We still do have a ton of Hellions here, and actually, we're going into MECH. I did not mention this, but yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Ryung is someone of those guys who is going to be willing to go into MECH. Going to be, okay, I'm going to be immobile, I'm going to be a little bit maybe volatile in the early game, but I am going to be very strong in the mid game. I do have those mechanical units you kind of need to find your way against, and this looks to be amazing the way. GG, Solar takes map number 1 here of Ryung. Just hitting before Ryung has enough units there. Up 1-0. Solar the Zerg. Oh, he's one of those guys who's just gonna swallow you a whole. He's like one of those 8-meter pythons or something, right? Swallowing humans at whole, like eating them. Disgusting stuff. No, honestly, he's a very good player, and you remember he was, I think one of his first wins was a DreamHack, might have been an MLG. That was like 2014, like 10 years ago. Okay, let's introduce this player. It's gonna be Solar on the bottom right of Oceanborn, and top left we do have Ryung. So I want to say it was like 2014, maybe even a little bit earlier, where Solar did actually win his first stuff, like his first actual big win, and then he kind of dropped down to be like a round of 16, round of 8 player, round of 4 player sometimes. That's gotta be it, you know? Oh, I was gonna say he's gonna go for another CC first. No, not this time. It's gonna be the old barracks gas. The standard opening here. So he wins a DreamHack 2014. He starts playing really hard, or makes like deep runs 2013, right? Solar, that is. 2014, and then he does like some DreamHack wins. Like he wins the first DreamHack Stockholm, he wins another one Stockholm, he wins DreamHack in Legacy, first one they waited. He does good in a Star League main event, he wins one of those, and then he kind of drops out again. He wins the Penthouse part. Actually, if you look at his results, he did win a lot of things, but not the very big ones. He has kind of everything to his name, but not the super big ones. And he's still looking out for those. Of course, he did win a GSL last year, so he is there now. He has the GSL wins as well. And he's kind of still looking for, I think, might have not won a Home Story Cup actually yet, and maybe like a, you know, like an IEM. Those two are kind of still missing from him. He's a very cool dude though, and a very great personality. Great gamer, of course. Alright. Coming in here. The Reaper, Ryung that is, trying to find some hip damage. I need to ask them if I'm allowed to play his clip here. For the next cast. Where all these Zerglings go yellow and red, and the Reaper goes red as well, and then everything goes back to regens. But yeah, of course, what Den does not tell you anymore is that, oh, he's gonna get a no, not gonna get the tumor. Yeah, what Den does not tell you, it's basically a skill check on both sides, so you do not have the Reaper there, you do not see the Bane Bust come in, so you need to be in front. And on the other side, if you do not have the Zerglings there and do not actually micro them back, the Reaper might just snowball and kill it. And then if you lose like all of your Zerglings, if you only make 4, hey, you lose 4 Zerglings, maybe he gets a drone, maybe he gets another drone, it can't snowball. That's the issue. It doesn't. It doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't. But it can, and that's why I kind of hate this situation as well as an observer, where I need to stick to that area, just because it can snowball. It does not most of the time. But it has happened before. And that's when everything is going crazy. And then it matters. It's so rough, it's frustrating sometimes. 99% of the time it does not matter. But if you miss that 1%, everybody's like, hey, why are you looking at the builds, man? There's nothing else going on. Usually, well, the Reaper shooting at the Lynx kind of tanking the damage. It's also nothing really going on there. Yeah. Gonna trying to come in for a scout. He's gonna see the third CC. He's gonna see if he can check the tech actually, if this is gonna be mech or not. And well, so far he does not exactly know. Of course, the tech lab is on the barracks, but it is not spinning there for Stim yet. Stim should be starting now. We do have 100 gas here. Any second now. I assume Ryung is gonna start this one. There we go. And he's of course, oh, he's making extra barracks. He was making a barracks, so he did actually see that barracks being thrown down there. So maybe he does know. Clicked it. My bad there. Ryung is roaming with his Hellions. Maybe he can actually pick this one off if he commits to it, but he's gonna lose a couple Hellions there to those queens. Those queens are off creep though, they cannot transfuse right now. Oh my god, the Banshee's coming in here. He's gonna get 2 kills already. 3rd kill there. And going in between the rallies, there's no detection right now. The lair is not done. Well, this drone was supposed to morph, but now... Well, queens are just taking the damage. Banshee not gonna find a drone there. On the other side, queen's getting pushed back by a Hellion Banshee attack. This Banshee is making so much work here. Much headway for those Hellions, but Queen's smartly just pulling back here. This Banshee's gonna run out of energy, needs to be careful. He pull this back. Can he manage to maneuver? Well, the answer is no. I'm gonna say this one safely back to home, where everything's on fire right now by those Lynx trying to get in a run by for the counterattack, but... Well, the answer was no, unfortunately. Second Banshee's gonna go home, is gonna stay here on defense, gonna make those counterattacks just a little bit nastier there for Solar to pull off. And not hit that single target. And it's 2-shotting Lynx. Best defense, but it's basically a free damage. Indestructible defense. 1-1 upgrades here. Baneling Nest as well on the way there. And we do see on the other side, Armory is already starting. +1 is about to complete here. And third wave is done, basically. 75%. Baneling speed coming in here for Solar and the Infestation Pit. So we're setting up for a big macro game here from side of our Zerg. Of course, we do have the 4th CC here from Ryung, and this is the point where we go into the second factory for our Terran player, or we commit to more starports. This is gonna be more tank-heavy play, I want to say. We're producing tanks here. There's no drilling clause, so second factory should also be tanks. And of course, Marine tank is a good style. It's a proven style. Will get you through the mid game into the late game. Then you need to transition into something else, and this is usually where Ryung does struggle. Is it going to be Ghost? Is it going to be Liberators? It is usually the point where Ryung does not execute as well as he usually does. One bench actually trying to go to offense here again, but obviously is already in position with the queens here. I love this rotation from Solar, setting up very well. Did not start his +2 armor yet. Is lacking some money there. There we go. Finally gonna commit to that one, and we're gonna go push with some halberds and tanks, setting up here in the middle. Try to push, contain the creep a little bit. On the bottom side, we do have the marine rotation, trying to pick off anything they can to keep that Zerg growth kind of contained. The Banshee did go back to defend the 4th base, setting up. And yeah, Ryung is looking good, but he needs to go the next step already. Solar is already there. He's already going to hide his Hydra Den. He's already about to finish up his 5. We're gonna see +2 upgrades coming in. We're gonna see Adrenal when the Hive is gonna be done. We're gonna see Lurker Den when the Hydra Den is done. We are gonna see maybe even an Ultralisk Cavern. We're gonna see some Vipers as they are on the production tab. At least one here right now. So he's going into full late game transition right now. Oh, those Marines are hiding here. They're so tough to see in those bushes, in the high grass. And on the other side, there is still stuff missing. There is no extra starports. There is no ghost tech. And there's no pressure on Ryung right now. He needs to get this done. Otherwise, his army is just gonna be outscaled. Not in size, but basically in tech. When it comes to the big fight, and then, well, it can happen that this is just gonna be one big fight in the end. I love this Banshee over here. Gonna try to deny this base being taken. Not on hold position though, but it's gonna intercept the drone. Perfect, done. Marines on the bottom are not gonna get sacrificed to the Zerg god there. Don't click those Banes onto the rocks. It's very difficult though now, suiciding onto rocks. Oh. He's a good scout here for Ryung. Does see those lings trying to nibble at these rocks. To see the army of his opponent. Gonna go into, by the way, +3 damage points bio behind this. Adrenal is about to get finished here. We do have +3 armor also coming in. Actually, Hydra speed here. No Lurker Den so far. If I see this correctly, we can take a quick look here. But yeah, there's no Lurker Den here. Coming in here now, trying to assassinate this position from the Terran, trying to bust the 3rd CC, if possible, with those Banes. Oh my god, this could be huge! A nice Blinding Cloud. He is gonna kill so many of these bio units with those Banelings. Wow, that was almost like a Dark Swarm, wasn't it? But these tanks here on the high ground, 2 tanks. Oh, it's only 1, sorry, excuse me. This is gonna be able to save these SCVs. There was a beautiful run around with these depots here. And the Marines shooting from the other side. Oh, and one SCV, he went into the burning house to grab a gas. Pocket of gas. Oh my god, you need to lift this one, bro. There we go, it's gonna get lifted. This army is gonna get shredded, it seems. We have a ghost, the ghost transition is already there, but it's a little bit late, as I said. Everything's already set up here for Solar, but there's no Widow Mines, there is only ghosts, and they are so low in numbers right now. And if you go into so many ghosts right now, you cannot make enough Marines, and there we go. The remix did not happen in time. Solo's gonna take the game, it's gonna take a serious 2-0. And yes, it felt like Ryung was a little bit outplayed there on every front.